you are not losing time. You are trading your future for comfort. Every day you wake up with purpose inside you, and every day you let distractions convince you that something else is more urgent. Before you pray, before you even think, your hand reaches for your phone. Not because you need it, but because you've been trained to escape the silence. And every time you escape the silence, you run from the one place where God has always waited for you, in the stillness. It starts as 5 minutes to check a message, then 10 more watching something funny, then 20 more deep in someone else's life while yours is being put on hold. And somehow, you still wonder why you feel so behind, so disconnected, so tired, even though you haven't done anything meaningful today. You say you're exhausted, but you're not physically tired. You're spiritually drained. Distraction is not just a habit you have. It's a life you're building without realizing it. And every scroll is a brick in a foundation that's slowly moving away from everything that matters. We like to pretend that it's harmless, that it's just entertainment, just a break, just one more video. But what you do every day becomes your life, whether you mean for it to or not. And if you keep giving your time and attention to things that give you nothing back, then don't be surprised when you wake up one day and realize you're nowhere close to who you were called to become. You don't need a new schedule. You need a new standard for what deserves your attention, because your attention is the most powerful thing you own. What you focus on feeds you, and if you're always focused on noise, comparison, drama, entertainment, and escape, then your soul is never getting what it truly needs to stay alive. And that's why you feel numb, not because something is wrong with you, but because you've spent too much time feeding your mind with things that starve your spirit. You're not addicted to your phone. You're addicted to avoiding the hard parts of life. And the enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can distract you, because distraction delays destiny more than failure ever will. You were created for focus, for clarity, for connection with God. And you can't experience any of those things while your mind is always chasing something new to look at. You're not lazy. You're just too comfortable with being numb. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to hear what your soul is trying to say. But here's the truth. You still have the power to take it back. Your mind, your time, your presence, your connection with God. And it starts with recognizing what's been stealing it from you. Start by asking yourself the questions you've been afraid to face. What am I running from? Why am I always reaching for my phone when I'm alone? What is God trying to say that I keep avoiding? You can't change your life if you're always escaping your life. And the only way to stop running is to choose stillness and listen long enough to feel again. Start choosing presence even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, because that's where real clarity begins. Turn off the background noise you've called normal and pay attention to what's been waiting under the surface this whole time. Don't wait until everything falls apart to take your attention seriously, because by then you'll realize it wasn't just time you were wasting, it was who you were becoming. You don't need to delete everything or disappear. You just need to start choosing what actually feeds your spirit instead of what drains it. Be honest with yourself about what's worth your attention and what's just keeping you busy enough to never face the truth. The truth is, you don't need more information. You need more transformation. And that only happens when you slow down long enough to let God speak again. You were not created to live distracted. You were created to live focused, connected, present, and fully alive in God's presence. And everything in this world will try to pull you away from that. Every ad, every video, every platform, every notification. Because the world doesn't care about your peace, but God does. And God will never compete for your attention. He will simply wait for you to come back. God is not waiting for your perfection. He's waiting for your attention. Not because He needs it, but because you do. Because when your attention returns, your heart returns. And when your heart returns, everything begins to change.